A is for ask. The "k" is important. Ask. This is a series I'm running called The ABCs of Business. Because right or wrong, we just can't leave our careers in the hands of employers anymore. I wish you could, but we really can't. And I learned that when I got laid off about 10 years ago and started my own writing business. We just don't live in a world where you can work for the same person for 40 years and get a sweet watch out of it. We're on our own. And while I know that makes a lot of people feel kind of afraid, I know I was terrified out of my mind when that happened to me. But the good news is you are absolutely capable, just as you are, of operating in the business world. You might think you're not enough, or you might think you're not capable of doing this kind of stuff, but you are. You can learn anything that you need to learn. That's what I'm hoping to do with this series. I want to help people learn basic business skills and knowledge that I wish I'd had when I was laid off back in 2013, because it turned out so well for me, but only because I knew how to find and use all these great resources and people and ideas for my advantage. So A is for ask. Let's talk about it. So when you're in a full-time job, you can't really ask for things, or it's more complicated than that. You have to ask for the things you want, and you're not supposed to ask for the things you deserve. Asking serves the wrong function. They're going to tell you your salary, your benefits, your job role, and then you have to ask for permission to take time off or to block your calendar for certain things. So when you start to work for yourself, I think we mix these things up. We keep asking for our basic needs, and then we're really nervous to ask for the things that we most want or that would make our business awesome. So when you're starting to learn how to ask for things, first make sure, are you asking to expand what you have, or are you asking for permission to do something you shouldn't really need permission to do? That's an interesting line. Now, this one came to mind because I watch a lot of those sexy influencer videos, not those kind of videos, but more like I'm 20 in my dream apartment with my dream cat drinking my dream matcha with nobody screaming in the background about being hit on the butt disrespectfully, which is what my kids are into right now. Anyway, these gorgeous girls, they're just living their best life. And for some of them, I'm sure it's privilege. And a lot of them admit that, actually. I mean, the ones I like are really upfront about that. But what I observe most in them is that they've learned how to ask for things. So ask for lower rent, ask for more space on the subway, ask for your money back. And I think that's something we can really learn from them and apply in business, is to build up that ask muscle so much that eventually you start to see people are asking you what you want or asking you if something is okay. In business, I see it playing out this way. Many people don't know that when you're first getting started, you can ask for a deposit on payment terms. You can ask for milestone payments. You can ask for different payment terms than what they offer. You can ask for an extension, to change the assignment, to change the project. You can even get out of the project if you want to. You have to refund their money, but once you're out on your own, you don't have to finish anything unless you decide you want to finish it. Now, it's good for your reputation to finish things. You wouldn't want to do that more than like once or twice every 5 years. Otherwise, I think there's a problem. But you absolutely are allowed to ask for what you want and change the situation until it's more like what you want to deal with. I think I'm harping on this so much because people seem to think that asking for things or demanding things is something you're not allowed to do if you want to have a good relationship with people. But in business, as it turns out, as long as you're respectful, asking for things just translates as confidence. So it really becomes a status thing. If you can ask for what you want, if you can tell people what you need, all they're seeing about that situation is that you have a high status, you're confident, and you're someone to be listened to. Arguably, that's bad for an employee, but it's really good for someone who's running their own business. I think people also don't realize they don't have to ask for a lot of things. If you need to reschedule something, if you need to change a deadline because of personal circumstances, you don't have to write and ask if it's okay to do those things. You can write and just let someone know that that's what's happening. So a way I'll use this sometimes, if I have a client where there's a deadline in a couple days and I just realized I overbooked myself, I'm starting to get sick, my kids are starting to get sick, something's going on, I can write to them and just say, I'm so sorry, but I need to move our deadline from Friday to next Tuesday. I know I said I'd be ready, but there are some circumstances I'm working around. I'm really sorry how this will mess you up, but I'll have this to you Tuesday. let me know if that's going to be okay. And you know what? I've had to do that a couple times since I've had kids. Sometimes things just don't work out that I can be perfect anymore, but I always communicate that in advance, and I've never gotten pushback on it. If it's something that I feel really badly about, I'm actually going to send that project manager a gift card, like $10 at Starbucks, and include a cute note that says, "Go reflect on how sorry I am that I had to move this deadline." I have had no problems with this. For other things like booking calls, either a kickoff call or an introduction call, you can just not be available on a certain day. You don't even have to ask for that. You can just announce, I don't take calls on Mondays. I can't take calls on Fridays. I'm not available until noon that day. And I find giving yourself that power to ask makes running your own business so much nicer because you start to realize that no is the second best answer you can get. What if they say yes? It's pretty cool. So thank you for joining me and thanks for watching. So this was the first letter in the alphabet, ask. And if this was helpful in any way, you can tell me to continue this series by liking and subscribing. Because I don't want to waste your time. We're just getting started. And if nobody likes this, I'll just move on to something else. So thanks again for watching and go ask for something today.